If you're anything like me, you hate mediocre, you want to be great, you want to be the one in your family to break the generational curse and become rich. I'm going to tell you exactly why in this video, why most men stay stuck in 2025 and how I got unstuck. If you guys stay to the end, the last tip is actually pivotal to why I'm actually walking my purpose and seeing some growth in my life. Now, the harsh truth is not every man is going to be able to get unstuck. You know, some men are just comfortable, and it actually feels better to be stuck in life to some men than it is to actually fulfill something. But that's only temporary. Pain of regret hurts a lot more than the pain of the discipline that it takes to put in those hours to become successful, whatever you want to do. I remember just like mindlessly scrolling or like just trying to find these different dopamine hits every day, like not following my purpose. And if you're somebody who's a genius, you are intelligent, or you're a smart person, or you have a lot of creative energy and you don't put these into something, you're gonna find that you're gonna end up being like, you're gonna abuse substances. You might smoke a lot, drink a lot, maybe you might party a lot, have a lot of sex. You plug into different outlets or one of those just to escape from your thoughts if you don't know how to transmute them. That's why I say it's extremely important, because I remember like I would go on like a bender of like partying, or I would go on a bender I was just smoking weed every day, or I would replace this feeling with me vaping, or I replace this feeling with me overly drinking. Like whatever it might have been, I found different outlets to numb myself to not feel what I wanted to feel, bro. And a lot of people on the outside never noticed, because I'm very good at hiding what I was dealing with as a man in my world. And just growing up, bro, I was really good at hiding that I was hurt or something was going on with me, you know. And being that go-to person for most people around you, you tend to find a way to build up a strong armor to where people don't read you really well, you know. But one thing I realized is, man, when you go home at night, all you have is you, your thoughts, and your demons, you know. And everybody has their demons, you know. They don't go anywhere. You just get better at fighting them, right? So one thing I learned, bro, the first thing I learned really was just getting a hold of my dopamine. And that's the one thing that's gonna help you get unstuck. If this video is already resonating and it's already hitting, bro, I need you to comment down below I'm a chosen one and hit that like, subscribe button. Comment down below I'm a chosen one, hit the like, subscribe button if you already resonate. But you have to get rid of the dopamine, bro. The dopamine is something I really got under control, because I realized that's all it was I was mindlessly chasing dopamine. Like, bro, like I would constantly look for something to make me feel something. Like, okay, it's like a very, very slippery slope, because you'll go from having sex, then it'll go from you mindlessly scrolling, then it'll go from you going looking for watching those dirty websites, whatever it is, bro. Everybody knows that when you get a hit of dopamine, you looking for something to get that same stimulation. And when you level out your dopamine levels, which is going on a detox, so you don't scroll on social media, you're eating healthier foods, maybe you're hitting the gym more, these are leveling out your dopamine levels, so you're getting healthy dopamine instead of bad dopamine. For those who don't know, your dopamine is your reward system, and when you rewire your reward system, you don't feel the same fulfillment from negative dopamine you do as when you have good dopamine. That's why I say it's important to reprogram your mind to not want these things, bro. Right now, I can't even, bro, who I am right now, 30 days ago, I wouldn't have thought that this is where I would be. In terms of my habits, the way I'm thinking, the way that I move, the way that I talk. Well, I've always thought highly of myself in the future, but the fact that I'm here in this version of myself, I'm just extremely grateful that I was able to stay diligent and be disciplined to get to this version of myself, which is, you know, I'm mentally disciplined right now, man. I don't have any bad habits, bro. That was literally on one of my goals on here, is to not have any bad habits, bro. And I say it's extremely important that you need to have a vision board. You need to have your goals written down somewhere, and you need to have them as a reminder, because one, when you write shit down, it's an energy signature. You're manifesting it. So when you take action towards it, it's already written in stone. Two, it keeps you going, bro. When you have a visual aspect of what you want to accomplish, it makes it a lot more applicable. Yeah, man, stop overstimulating your brain with so much stuff. When you actually level out, like what I did to replace those bad habits was going to the gym. After I started going to the gym, I started having a better diet. After I started having a better diet, I started reading better books. When I started reading better books, I started reading or watching podcasts. When I started watching podcasts, it just gets better and better, you know. So you just got to take it one step at a time. If you're somebody you have a lot of bad habits, or you're trying to reprogram that dopamine system, like I said, I do help men from 18 to 30 years old break bad habits and live a more purpose-driven life. You guys interested in that, you guys can DM me, coach, or comment down below, coach. The next thing, bro, is no clear purpose or direction, man. Like, when I tell you I had no like clear direction where I was going, it's such a depressing feeling as a man. You know, if you're watching this, like, bro, when you don't fully know where you want to go, it's so irritating when you see men that do. It's like you feel like, bro, I'm jealous, bro. Like, why the hell? Like, man, they're so successful in what they do. They just know exactly what they want to do. I wish I just knew what I wanted to do. Maybe you're someone who has a bunch of different aspirations, right? And you don't know where to plug in and just go 100% in, because you might try something and realize you don't like it. You will try another thing, realize you don't like it. But you have to understand this: you have to find one thing, perfect it, be competent at it, and grow in that. That's really what it is. What does your mind think about all day? What do you watch on YouTube? What can you talk about for hours and hours with the other person like could talk about it? That's how I kind of decompartmentalize my purpose. And I'll tell you right now, bro, the reason why I like, bro, content is something that's so vague that I stressed myself out so much with content when I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know how I wanted to post. I didn't know what kind of videos, what niche. The niche stressed me out, but I realized I am the niche. I am the brand. What do I love talking about? What am I knowledgeable on? And I realized self-development. I broke bad habits. I'm into spirituality, and I said, why not teach and coach other men and individuals on how to break their bad habits and live a more purpose-driven life like I did for myself? This thing that's keeping you men stuck, that kept me stuck, is being around low energy people or low energy crowds. Now, this is something that you subconsciously don't understand you're doing, right? Because sometimes a low energy crowd is something that just feels comfortable. It's something that feels something right? And when I was growing into a better version of myself, I was going on these streaks of like semen retention, or I was eating better, I was getting in the gym. I noticed that my old identity was trying to sabotage my new identity, which means I was trying to go back to these old places with this new mindset. So I would go to like these house parties and or I wouldn't say that, I would go to like these like kickbacks, right, with people that are low vibrational that didn't really meet my new vibration, but I was around them because they made me feel comfortable, because I knew I was abandoning my old self and I wasn't ready yet, and that's the part that keeps a lot of us stuck as men, is we're not ready for that change. Sometimes when you need to change, you don't want to. It's comfortable being in that shit is gonna help you. That shit gonna help you fight them demons. That shit is gonna help you not have to face what you have to face. Especially when you're a man, you ain't did shit, you don't got no money, you don't got no emotion. It's a sad reality to face. So you use women or you use accolades and shit to kind of flawed this or make you feel or compensate or whatever. You know what I'm saying, bro? And as a man, so our value, that's how we're treated in this society, basically. Like, that your value, it depends on your value, bro. Your value as a man, bro. If you don't got no value, you don't got no competence, you ain't accomplishing shit, it's gonna be really hard for people to respect you in this day and age, and we all know that. So that's why I say it's important, bro. Surround yourself with high vibe individuals. Put yourself in high vibe situations. I always say this, bro. I have a client, she asked me, she was like, what do I do to connect with higher minded people? Where do I go to connect with people that are on that level? Because my friend group isn't on that level. And I told her, I said, look, if you want to connect with these people, ask yourself this: where do these people hang out at? Where do they spend their leisure time? Because I promise you it's not in a bar all damn night. I promise you it's not in a nightclub all damn night. I promise you it's not in a strip club. I promise you it's not in a low vibrational environment. You want to go put on a nice suit or put on a nice dress, or put on something nice, right? Go to your local hotel, the most expensive hotel, go in there and order some coffee or some tea, or just walk around and just and soak up the energy. If you see somebody that catches your eye, maybe they're a photographer or something, ask them what they've been doing, how long they've been doing it, and network. Perfect. Maybe you might go to a coffee shop or a bookstore and you see someone that is on a laptop or they're dressed very nice. You might ask them, hey, what do you do? I like your suit. Boom, 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 boom. Because people love to talk about themselves. And there you go. You have a network, and your network is your net worth. And this is what I realized: closed mouths don't get fed. I've made so many networks, and I have so many different connections for different things I need because I open my mouth. If I go in public and I sometimes you get a thought like, damn, that person has a nice necklace. I want to say it, but I really don't feel like it. And when you listen to your intuition, you say it anyway. You never know. You just built a connection right there. Earlier, the reason why I say that, because I just thought about it. Earlier, I was at Subway, right? And I was ordering a sub. I walked in, this lady had on a necklace. Indian, of course, Hinduism, whatever. And I said, is that on your necklace? She's like, yeah, it is. She's like, how do you know what that is? I said, I have it tatted on my hand. Like, I resonate with the teachings of, the Hinduism and shit. And I'm not religious, by the way. I am spiritual. I do believe in God, but religion is it's a construct. I feel like it's meant to keep people against each other, along with politics. We'll talk about that's a whole different conversation. And she basically was like, we're chopping it up and shit like that. And she put me on some of these sweet yoga places and discounted and everything. So you got to show up here. And she even gave me a free drink too. She said, here, you can have the free drink on the house. I was like, man, that's cool. And I realized if I never even opened my mouth and said anything, I wouldn't have got that free drink, and I wouldn't have got no retreat for a nice yoga place. So it's like, bro, your network's your net worth. Closed mouth don't get fed. Open your mouth. Get out of those low vibrational places and get outside, bro. Connect with people. Go to the store. Put on something, bro. I dead ass. You can ask my brother. I will dead ass just to go to the store. I'll just put on nice shit, because you want to address how you want to be addressed. The other thing that's keeping men stuck is the emotional suppression, okay? Now, 11 on the clock. Emotional suppression, bro, this is something that's so, it's a very, very interesting topic in the community of self-development for men, because as men growing up, we see it on TV and we're told that you shouldn't show your emotions, you should never cry, you should always be stoic, you shouldn't feel your emotions, right? And it's a very toxic way of dealing with yourself as a man. Like, I call it toxic masculinity, because me personally, I feel like you as a man, you really should be strong. You shouldn't be walking around this bitch crying every time you scrape your knee, because at that point you is a hoe. Like, bro, strap your nuts on, bro. But there's points in times to feel your emotions, you know what I mean? Like, if you lost a loved one, okay, maybe not busting out crying in the funeral home, but when you're by yourself, bro, feel these emotions. How do you feel? Ask yourself, talk to yourself out loud like you're your own therapist, because this is what you do. This is how you heal yourself. This is what I did, bro. I've had problems with, like, me and my father didn't get along the best when I was younger, and growing up, I had to figure out how to be a man, how to carry myself, how to handle myself in tough situations and shit. Me and him got a lot closer now that I'm older, but there's still wounds that I needed to heal, right? And bro, I remember one day I was in here just journaling about how I felt about myself, and I said, I'm proud of you, Kale. I had this mirror in front of me. I said, I'm proud of you, Kale. I'm proud of you. And it broke me down in tears. I'm like, man, why do I feel this way? It's like I haven't heard it enough, even though I have, but maybe it was like I didn't hear enough from my father, and that validation I got from myself in that regard just kind of helped me out, you know what I'm saying? And as a man, we're all human, bro. And feeling your emotions is part of this human experience. Emotions is just energy in motion. So when you don't feel your emotions, they're all pent up. You're like a walking, ticking time bomb, and you don't want to be that, bro. You want to walk around this world being in flow, because when you're in flow, that's how you attract the things you want to you in your life. I'm gonna give you guys a few things to how do you break free. If you made it this far in the video, I want you to comment down below, I am a chosen one. Hit the like, subscribe button, because I'm gonna give y'all some game that I actually give my paid clients, but these are shit that I've used to actually get unstuck in life and live a purpose-driven life, bro. So the first one, bro, is journaling and listening to podcasts and applying this information. So I know this sounds self-explanatory. You probably hear this all the time. Journaling, meditation, oh my God. No, buddy. I'm not talking about just you sit there in your quiet room and you journal your thoughts and then you just go to work. I'm talking about you meditate, right? You sit in meditation, you sit there and you let your thoughts come back and forth, and you see them and you just let them keep going back and forth, and you keep coming back to the present moment. When you journal, you ask those deep questions. You think very intrinsically, you think very deeply, and you feel these emotions, right? And you put them into action, okay? So what I mean by this is when you journal, you ask yourself questions, feel them, talk to yourself out loud. Why do I feel this way? Okay, I feel this way because of this. I feel upset when people say this towards me, or and then when you go in the real world, feel these emotions, act different, walk with more confidence, okay? Because this is what I did, bro. When I started actually applying when I started to heal myself, I realized that my relationships improved, because when I go talk to people, I talk with more conviction. I start speaking with intention, right? So when I say, because bro, if you can read books, you can listen to podcasts all day, but if you're not applying the information, you're just a person that has the information. You know what I'm saying? That's literally all you are. And that's why I say it's important to apply it, because if I didn't apply my knowledge, I didn't teach people, or I didn't coach, and I didn't give a game out to y'all, I would just be a person that got a bunch of knowledge, a goofy. Like, nigga, what are you, a librarian? Bro, do something with that knowledge. You know, if you're watching a podcast on how to make money, how to invest, the next day you should be doing the best thing you can to invest. If you watch a podcast on investing or trading, next best thing is getting a Roth IRA. The next best thing is paper trading. The next best thing is getting into penny stocks. The easiest thing you can do to whatever that podcast just said, okay? That's the best thing I could tell you. Action. There's nothing better than raw action, bro. As soon as you get that inspiration, you need to post that video, or you need to write that book, or you need to make that song. Whenever you get an idea to do something, you need to implement it as soon as possible, because you don't know why? Everybody's brain's like antennas. Everybody gets ideas. When you get an idea, if you don't act on it, somebody else will act on it. They'll bring it into the physical. Why do you think whenever you do something, bro, I'm a prime example. I've made videos that I didn't think were gonna crack off, that cracked off simply because it was a divine download from source, and I acted on it immediately, bro. I have a video on my second TikTok page with 8 million views, bro. And you best believe I made some cheese off that. You wanna know how? I was sitting in my room on my day off scrolling. What was I doing? No, I was watching a YouTube video, and an idea came to turn this Duke Dennis video into an ad for this cologne that I was promoting. That bitch went crazy, and it was a divine download, bro. That's why I said you gotta follow that and watch how that shit changes for you, bro. Now, this next thing I'm gonna tell you that I've done to really get unstuck in life, that's I'm doing right now, that has given me a lot of results in my life, that's going to completely change your life if you can apply this. 99.999% of men can't do this, and it's called semen retention, okay? Semen retention is the act of holding your sexual energy. Now, when you get advanced, you can do sexual alchemy, which means you can still have sex with a woman without releasing, like I'm able to do. It takes some practice, but you can do it. But bro, when you can go on streaks of semen retention, right? And I say this to every man. I've won, bro. When I've trained for my boxing matches, when I've grown on my social media platforms, when I've made the most gains in the gym, when I've made the best mental quantum jumps, I was on semen retention, bro. It's something so powerful about your sexual energy, to the point that when you tell a woman that she can't have it, she will get pissed. That's how powerful your sexual energy is. You ever thought about that? You tell a woman that you're not releasing your sexual energy, like, oh no, I'm not nothing, but it's cool. Someone will be like, why? Give it to me, I want it. That's a succubus, an energy vampire. Your energy is valuable. Some of y'all niggas are goofies. No, bro, it ain't no big deal. I'm gonna just hit this girl on my nut. Bro, you're a goofy. Because what happens? As soon as you nut, she laying there, energied up, ready to go throughout her day. You sitting there like, man, I'm just gonna chill. Like, you all drained and shit. Like, bro, think about it. You're programmed to think it's okay to release your nut all the time. Bro, have you went 30 days without releasing your shit? Go watch videos after this. Go look up semen retention after this video and watch and hear how everyone's story is similar. Don't fall into everybody's shit. Use your discernment. But I'll tell you this, semen retention is the practice of transmuting your sexual energy. Your sexual energy is very, very potent, okay? It's one of the strongest energies that you have and you hold as a man. When you hold it up for X amount of days, you you transmute this every day into your workouts, your business, your purpose. You are literally putting extra energy into what you want to do. My businesses, my body, my mind is all growing at an exponential rate than the average man that's releasing. 100%. I see it on a day-to-day basis. People that I talk to, conversations I have, I can see it, I can feel it, people can feel it. My energy, my aura is stronger because I'm holding my sexual energy. I'm doing something a lot of men cannot do, which is transmuting their superpower, their sexual energy. And some men do it because the woman attraction. Of course, women are attracted on semen retention. They can feel the pheromones, they can feel the vibe, they can feel the aura. Women are emotional, women are very intuitive. They know there's something about this man. He's walking his divine purpose, and women want it. Trust me, bro, I'm a prime example. But hey, y'all lock into that, bro. Semen retention is the #1 key that will change your life, bro. I'm on like, I say don't count days, but right now I'm well over 30 days right now. And you can look at all my socials. If you look at my past videos, you can tell I'm on that streak. It shows. I don't be releasing. These women ain't get my energy. I might lay down the pipe, you know what I'm saying? But they gonna still have a good night. And I'm gonna still get up like a knight. And I'm gonna still have my energy all right. I pull up with my energy and I say that though. All right, man. I love y'all, Alchemist Gang. If this video helped you, comment down below. I'm gonna choose one. Hit the like, subscribe button. I'll see you next video. Peace.